Welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 3417 AN. Today's date is August 2nd, 2024, and the title of the episode is U.S. Factories Cutting Staff, Recession, Buckle Up, Watch the Market. Let's talk about protecting our wealth. In a world of economic uncertainty, safeguarding your retirement saving is more important than ever. Gold is a trusted source of value, providing stability for centuries through countless market cycles. With a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can protect your financial future with the enduring power of precious metals. Don't let election volatility erode your hard-earned nest egg. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024 and get up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar with a qualifying account. Noble Gold Investments, your partner in financial peace of mind in 2024. Go to x22gold.com. That is x22gold.com, or click the link in the description. And remember, there's always a risk of investment and there's no guarantee of any kind. Let's get right into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the deep state, the corrupt politicians, the private West Central Bank, the World Economic Forum. You can see their agenda is taking its toll, and every time they push their agenda, either it be the Green New Scam, the Great Reset, and everything else that they're trying to do, the people, they're realizing that this is the wrong direction the country should be heading in. And corporations are starting to realize that these blue states, they're going to be losing a lot of money, and they're going to be losing a lot of people who are working for them because a lot of people are moving out of those states. And when you really take a look, you can see that corporations are moving out of those blue states, which number one is California. And you have to remember that is the template of the Deep State Central Bank World Economic Forum. And you can see Musk has moved out. Many other companies have moved out. People have moved out. And now we have Chevron. They have decided, you know something? We need to move. And if you notice, a lot of these corporations, they are moving into the red states, which is very, very interesting. So Chevron announced that they will be moving out of California. Libs of TikTok put this out on X and said, Chevron plans to move its headquarters from California to Texas due to excessive regulation, clashes with authorities that made California closed for business. This should tell you everything you need to know. And think about it. Everything that the Deep State, the Central Bank, the World Economic Forum has been pushing, it's been pushing corporations and people out of those areas. So does that mean the people are going along with what they want? No, the people are rejecting it every step of the way. And corporations, they have a choice. They can go along with what the deep state wants. If they do, they're going to go bankrupt, or they can take matters into their own hands and move the corporation into a red state. And if you notice, they're not moving it into New York. They're not moving it into Illinois. They're moving it into a place where they know that none of these things are going to happen. Think about why they're doing this. I think it's becoming clearer and clearer every single day, just like it's becoming clearer and clearer who is funding Stop Oil. That is Hillary Clinton. So Just Stop Oil stunts are partly funded by a campaign organization run by Hillary Clinton. So that is very interesting. So she is pushing this, and I do believe there's many, many others who are pushing this. And all these people that are going around painting art and destroying certain things. She is behind all of this. So a paper trail of transparent disclosures shows that one of the CEF's major supporters is Onward Together, a campaign organization founded by Mrs. Clinton in the aftermath of her 2016 presidential campaign against Trump. You think this was all put together on purpose? Absolutely. What are they pushing? The Great Reset, the Green New Scam. And we can see every step of the way the manipulation that the deep state is doing right now with all the different numbers, it is not working. Remember, the Fed and the fake news and other economists, they're relying on these manipulated numbers. Now, the Fed, they know they're manipulated. I mean, look, they're running the Fed. They know how to run a scam. So they know that these numbers are manipulated, but they're using this to their advantage because remember what their goal is. Their goal is to bring us into the Great Reset, trying to put us onto the central bank digital currency, to bring us into the Green New Scam. So yes, do they know they're manipulated? Absolutely. But again, you have to remember how this is all played. They use events to cover up what they're doing, and they blame it on other people. They don't care if Biden goes down with the ship. They don't care if Kamala goes down with the ship. Remember, they have no allegiance to a country. They don't really care about these people. They use them, and they use them every step of the way. And when you look at the job numbers, when you look at the layoffs, you can see Everything is starting to ramp up right now. The BLS reported that in July, the U.S. added just 114,000 payrolls, a huge miss to expectations of 175,000, also a huge drop from the downward revised June print of 206,000, now revised to just 179,000. This was the lowest print since December 2020. Now, of course, what did they do? They had to manipulate everything else. Zero Hedge put this out and said, "You will never guess which way the Kamala Department of Goal-Seek numbers revise prior job prints. May was revised down by 2,000, June was revised down by 27,000, and 5 of the past 6 months revised lower." Why did they do this? Because they're manipulating the numbers. They need you to think that everything is fine when it really isn't. This is how they play the game. They want the Fed to cut the rates, even though they really shouldn't be cutting the rates because, again, they're dealing with manipulated numbers. Does the Fed know this? Of course they do. But do they have plausible deniability? Well, the government gave us these numbers. We're going by what they said. Oh, if there's an event, we were doing the right thing, but the event caused this entire problem. The Kobisi letter on X put this out and said, U.S. economy adds 114,000 jobs in July, below the expectations of 176. The unemployment rate rose to 4.3%, above expectations of 4.1%. This marks the highest U.S. unemployment rate since November 2021. The labor market is beginning to crack. Oh, it's cracked a long time ago. And the Daily Shot put this out, and it shows a graph. And ever since Biden came in, we're in a downward trajectory of people losing their jobs, especially in factories. U.S. factories are cutting staff at the fastest pace since the COVID shock. And when you look where we're at, it looks like we're headed exactly where we had the recession back in 2008, 2009, when we shut everything down in 2020. So we're already at that point, which means we're in a recession. Now, the other thing that's very interesting is that people now are seeing that the market is dipping. People are nervous. You see headlines saying, oh, people are worried about a recession. Well, we're already in a recession. They'll tell you about that later. They'll tell you when it really started. But we're already in a recession, and you're already starting to see the market come down 600, 700, 800 points right now. That doesn't mean it's going to keep dropping. It might pump up a little bit again. But again, people are going to be looking at this, and they're going to say, why is this happening? Well, I do believe they're pricing everything in, and they're preparing for what is coming. But I don't believe they understand what's really coming, because as the numbers get worse and worse and they continually manipulate the numbers, this is going to be a much bigger drop than they're expecting. But you could see now people are getting very, very nervous. And the market is always the signal that there's a major problem headed our way. And I think people now are starting to realize, and this is going to reflect on Kamala Harris. This is going to reflect on the Biden administration. This is also going to reflect on the Fed. So really think about what is happening right now. They're telling us that inflation is under control. Fuel prices are holding steady. GDP numbers are looking good. Yes, the unemployment went up a little bit, but don't worry about that. That is just a fluke. And I do believe they're all ready and prepared to cut the rates, even though people are starting to see the truth. The Kobisi letter on X put this out and said, a jobs report stronger than expected equals sell stocks, higher rates are here to stay. Job report weaker than expected equals sell stocks, we're going into a recession. Jobs report as expected equals sell stocks, inflation is still a problem. For the last 2 years, bad news was good news for the stock market. Bad news is bad news again. And that's how you know recession fears are rising. It's going to be a bumpy road ahead. And the market is behaving, well, like a market again. And after all, market interest rate cuts weren't what markets wanted all along. The question now is how large and how fast will the interest rate cuts be? And what will the market do? I do believe as we head towards the presidential election, Trump has already told the Fed, listen, I wouldn't be cutting the rate. I wouldn't be doing that if I were you. Now, of course, what do you think the Biden administration is going to do? Well, they're most likely going to force the Fed into cutting the rate. Remember, we're in a presidential election. Let's talk about protecting our wealth. In a world of economic uncertainty, safeguarding your retirement saving is more important than ever. Gold is a trusted source of value, providing stability for centuries through countless market cycles. With a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can protect your financial future with the enduring power of precious metals. Don't let election volatility erode your hard-earned nest egg. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024 and get up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar with a qualifying account. Noble Gold Investments, your partner in financial peace of mind in 2024. Go to x22gold.com. That is x22gold.com, or click the link in the description. And remember, there's always a risk of investment and there's no guarantee of any kind. If they don't cut the rate and the market and everything starts to fall apart, how can they convince the people that everything is fine? They can't. So I do believe they're going to use this as their last-ditch effort to try to convince everyone right before the election that everything is great. We've done our job. Everything is incredible. Remember, the entire Democratic Party is trapped in this. Just like if you go back to 2008, 2009, the Republican Party at the time, they were trapped in their narrative with the economy. They couldn't say, hey, all of a sudden, the economy's doing worse than we really thought. We're sorry about that. But everything that we told you we were doing didn't work. And now the entire system's crashing. Can you imagine if the Democrats do that right now? Can they really come out and tell everyone that Bidenomics didn't work? Everything that they put into place didn't work. We're sorry about that, but the market's going to crash. We're heading towards a recession, and everything that we told you is a complete lie. You think they're really going to come out and say that? Or are they going to double down and say, no, the economy's doing well? Yes, we have numbers that are inching up a little bit, but don't worry about that. Just look at the Fed. They're going to be cutting rates, and everything's going to be okay. Well, I don't think everything's going to be okay. I think what's going to happen is we're going to see a complete and utter disaster, because remember, this is all based on an illusion. We've been in an illusion going all the way back to 1913. People didn't realize it back then, but as we went into the 40s and the 70s, the illusion got larger and larger and larger and larger. And here we are today, where everything is manipulated and you don't even know what the truth is anymore. So they're basing everything on an illusion to convince you that everything is great. The economists are basing everything on the illusion, which is the manipulated numbers, to make you think everything is fine. And everyone's going to find out that it isn't. And we're already starting to see that right now. Now, remember, the market's up, 40,000? If it comes down 900,000 points, people are going to say, okay, it's not that bad. Look how high the market was. What happens if the market drops 10, 15,000 points? You think people are going to wake up then? We might see something like that. Maybe it's 7,000. We don't know the exact number. But I do believe what people are going to see, they're going to really wake up when this happens. And they're going to start to question the Democratic Party, the Fed, the Treasury. And they're going to say, why did this happen? Why did the market come down like this? I don't understand this. You're telling us that inflation's under control. GDP numbers are good. Everything looks fine. Why did this happen? You know what they're going to do? Well, it could have been the Biden administration. That's what the Fed's going to say. Or they're going to say, oh my God, you know what? It all started to fall apart because we got hit. One of the financial institutions got hit with a cyber attack. That started the ball rolling. And now everything is frozen because of that. And they will try to convince everyone that it was a cyber attack or a hack or something like that. And that's why the market started to come down. That's why the economy started to fall apart. It wasn't because what they were doing. It's because of what happened to the financial institutions. Now, I do believe this is going to be interconnected with us moving towards war, because again, they're not going to say, ooh, it was an inside job. We destroyed our own system. They're going to point to another country, and they're going to say they're the ones who wanted to destroy our economy, and look what they did here. Remember, their ultimate goal is to do what? To bring us to war. That's what they're going to push, and they're going to push this very, very hard. But again, what does Trump have? He has peace. This is going to shut down their entire plan. This is going to expose everything that they're trying to do. This is not a normal 4-year election. This is not a normal economy that we're in. What Trump and the Patriots are doing, they're showing you the truth. He wants you and the others, he wants the country to see how this is one gigantic illusion, and they're not doing anything in your best interest. and we need to move away from this system. I do believe this is what Trump and the Patriots are showing everyone, one step at a time. Remember, if you just came out and you just told everyone, no one would believe it. Sometimes you got to show the people. And why interfere with an enemy while they're in the process of destroying themselves? Remember, they can't turn around and say Trump is responsible for this. They're the ones who are going to destroy their own system. So the optics are very, very good for Trump, not so much for the deep state, the central bank, and the World Economic Forum. This is why they need a cover story to cover this up. Now, I do believe Trump and the Patriots, they know they're going to use a cover story. But again, Trump is going to counter all of this with peace. And once he ushers in peace, once he's elected, what happens? Everything that they are trying to do is exposed. Investigations start to happen. The House says, you know something? Let's look into what is going on here. Why did the economy fail like this? When they told us everything was fine. Let's investigate the Fed. Maybe we need to audit the Fed, a deep dive to see what they've been up to. I do believe this is going to get the ball rolling, and people are going to see how a criminal enterprise has been running our system from the very, very beginning. And as time went on, it just got worse and worse and worse. And I do believe Trump and the Patriots, they're going to show the American people the truth. And the people then will be on board with Trump to move us into a new system. And this new system is going to be separate and apart from the private West Central Bank. I do believe here in the United States and around the world, the central bank system will cease to exist the way we know it today. And the people are going to take back control of their economic system and the creation of currency. And once this happens, the people are going to be looking at the private West Central Bank and say, why did we ever even have this? Who actually thought this was a good idea? Because when they see the economy growing, I mean, just look at El Salvador, just look at Argentina. The people there are going, why did we have the economy the way it was? They kept telling us it can't get any better. This is the best. Now, everything they said is fake, phony, and false. Think about when Trump came into the White House. Remember what Obama said? This is it. Don't expect any more. This is the economy. Trump showed us, no, it doesn't have to be this way. He actually took control of the magic wand. And he showed everyone, look, this economy can grow. This economy can do a lot better. And he was doing this while the deep state was in control, while the central bank was in control, while he had to play within the central bank illusionary economy. Can you imagine what he's going to do? And when he puts all the right people in place, can you imagine what he's going to do when he gets rid of the private West Central Bank system? Can you imagine what the economy is going to look like? Because if he could just do that in a short period of time with the central bank in control, with all the regulations and everything else, what do you think he's going to do when all of that's removed and we're no longer borrowing the currency and we become energy independent, not just by fracking, but by drilling? Think about what's going to happen. The country is going to prosper like we've never, ever seen before. And the central bank, the deep state players, they will cease to exist because the people, they will never allow this again. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared.